Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I trust that you've all been doing well out there, and it's great to see ya. I've been doing good here in the frozen north of Canada, and it's snowing like crazy outside, which is quite nice. I like the snow coming into the holiday season, but after New Year's, I like that snow just to get the hell out of here, because that's usually I'm quite sick of it at that point. And here in Canada, in January, that's when things get pretty gross out there. And for some reason, around this time of year, everybody forgets how to drive in the snow. Believe it or not. I know, it's beyond me too. But anyway, it's good to see you guys here. Coming over here to the comment section on the T-Field video here. I see my buddy David here about 5 hours ago. He says, yo, where you at, man? We need you during this turbulence, these times of turbulence. I'm not in a panic mode yet, but things are crazy. Are they, David? So I'm assuming that you want me to take a look at the price action of Theta and perhaps even T-Field. And there's Ron, my buddy Ron here saying, KW, good to see you, Ron. Dan Anthony, thanks for your support, man. Appreciate it very much. And we see Jens up here. Always appreciate your updates. Keep them coming. Well, thank you very much, Jens. So heading over here to the Theta chart. So we see Theta sweeping the lows once again, coming in and testing this liquid zone down here, which was the low it stuck in after all this nasty selling. And I got to be honest, I didn't want to see that happening. That's not very fun. And I'm assuming this is why you're just hanging on there, David, not getting quite too panicky just yet. But, I see that things are sweeping the lows once again. And in my last analysis, we were observing that we had this higher low structure beginning to emerge on the chart. But if you'll remember, my condition for this to be a bottom, it was looking that way, but my condition for that was a clear break of the 0.382. And as you can see, we came in and we just put wicks up above there. We never did get those candle body closures. And with Theta in particular, I was looking for that level to break and then hold. I need something quite convincing. And then, of course, my more conservative level, the big level, was the 0.5 up here. And as we can see, when price action got up there, put a wick, pretty nasty engulfing candle before leading its way to the downside here. And unfortunately, those conditions just simply did not get met, and now we've seen a pretty darn nasty sell-off since that last retest of the 0.382, and that is coming alongside the rest of the market, as the rest of the market has been going through quite a pullback. But last time the market was trying to recover here, we saw coins like Ethereum pushing on the new all-time highs, and we did see Theta pretty darn stuck in the mud as all that was going on. So certainly unfortunate to see Theta down here testing these levels, and now we've taken out that higher low structure. So that idea has certainly been undone at this point in time, and there's certainly some pressure present here. But speaking to you, David, you never want to be panicking. If you're panicking over something, it can be a sign that you're over leveraged, that you're overexposed into something. So I'm glad to hear that you're not panicking, because that gives me a bit of a hint that perhaps you're not overexposed. But for me personally, and of course none of this is financial advice, is I typically try to keep my investing and my trading as well on the boring side of things. I know it's not the sexy approach. I know that people, with altcoins and things, they move thousands of %. It gets quite exciting as things rip to the upside, and you get plenty of YouTubers that make all kinds of wild predictions and things like that. And it's all well and good and fine. But, for me, I do try to keep things less emotional. And in order to do that, it's usually with position sizes that don't stimulate me on an emotional level. So when I see, gross pullbacks like this, with anything, whether it's in a trade or whatnot, usually it's not doing a heck of a lot of damage to my portfolio overall. And usually that's coming off a series of potential wins on trades, or maybe I have other coins that are performing well at that point in time. And that always helps me keep my emotions in check. And for me, this is really important. It's, with the whole panic thing, when people get fearful, typically with anything, it bypasses your ability to be rational and to look at things and make, more of a strategic based decision, a logical decision with anything really. And this is certainly true within the market. So for me personally, I've always just taken things level by level, as unsexy as that can be. But for me, it helps me make the most clear decisions that I possibly can. And it also allows me to grow. It allows me to build and expand upon that. And I do think that's a journey that will likely never end. I mean, I'll always be a student of the markets myself. I'll always be a student of investing, as well as anything else in this world. I don't think a human lifespan is long enough to become, truly an absolute guru of everything. But none of that's financial advice, of course. But if you're underwater here right now and you're feeling those feelings, that can be a sign of being over leveraged. So be careful with your decisions out there, and make sure that you allocate a certain amount of capital that you're willing to lose if it goes away, and never overextend yourself. And the same is true for traders too. In this market, we see a lot of people, they get highly emotional and highly over leveraged, massive leverage. I trade as well, but typically it's I don't use any leverage, and if I use any whatsoever, it's usually between 2 and 5x. It's not much. It's so unnecessary. So that can be a sign of that, my friend. But back to Theta here with the levels that I'm watching. Right now, we see it testing this liquid zone once again. And could Theta put in a double bottom here? Perhaps. But I do think we're going to have to see the rest of the market pull through here. I think first and foremost, we need to see Ethereum and Bitcoin begin to work their way back up. And then I think Theta would have a chance to pull through. However, if the rest of the market decides to dump to the downside, I don't think Theta is going to be any exception here. And that will likely be the catalyst that causes it to break below this liquid zone here. And if it does, the bottom side of that liquid zone is coming in around $3.50 approximately. It's pretty much lookout below at that point in time. Your next level of support, not a very strong one, mind you, is down here around $2.40. And then below that, you have another support down here around the 80-cent mark. But that's just simply the levels of support from a price action perspective that I'd be looking for down below there. Now, to the inverse of that, if the rest of the market pulls through, because I do think it would likely take the market dumping for Theta to breach this level. I mean, anything's possible. But to the inverse of that, if the market picks itself back up, a couple areas that, feel free to watch these, not financial advice, is I'd say an area of interest, nothing actionable, would be this first horizontal here at $4.66. Closures up above that level there likely initiates tests up to around $5.70. And then that's where we start getting into the major fib levels. Of course, the 0.236. And this level has been quite actionable, ever since this nasty pullback. And that's coming in at around $6.50. So certainly feel free to watch that level. And then up above that, the 0.382 is now a big level for me, because as you can see, it served as resistance here. Yeah, we poked up above it here, but we got that nasty sell candle here. But even recently, even coming off this higher low structure here, we got in, put in that test here. It was just nothing but wicks. And then boom, we got a rejection from there. And that rejection did come in and ultimately take out this pivot here. So the 0.382 is now a pretty darn significant level for me. And as far as time frames are concerned, like let's say Theta picks itself back up here, starts moving up to those levels. I don't care when it happens, but to me, it's more about how price action interacts with those levels when it gets there. And that level is coming in at around $8.27. I mean, so anywhere between, say, $8.30 to $8.50. If you see price action get up around those levels and confirm it as support and live around those levels, for an extended period of time, then you could safely look to the 0.5 up here, which is a very, very, very big level. And that's coming in at around $9.80. Getting up above there, that's when we can say, all right, the bottom's finally in. Because if it does that, at that point in time, we would officially have a double bottom off this liquid zone here. And then we wouldn't be speculating as much at that point in time. As my last videos, I was speculating a little bit that we had, higher low structure, which certainly was encouraging from price action perspective, but we didn't have the higher high. And for me, the higher high ultimately was going to be above the 0.5. So those are the levels I can put on your radar that I would be watching. Feel free to watch those levels going forward. And we'll see what Theta manages to do from this level here. Let's quickly look at T-Fuel. Yeah, T-Fuel's looking pretty droopy here. We see T-Fuel taking out this liquid zone right here. If we drag this over like so, we see T-Fuel getting that daily closure below it. And now is testing it as potential resistance. We got the moving averages absolutely nosediving here. Does this necessarily have to be a death sentence? No, it does not. We're merely observing the behavior between buyers and sellers and the sentiment of buyers and sellers. But from price action perspective, that doesn't look all that great. Now, again, if you're invested in this from a fundamental perspective, if this is something you've been following closely and you believe in it for the long term, that's totally cool. We'll see what happens. When the time comes that the rest of the market picks itself back up, as fundamentals can certainly be important as well, of course. Anyhow, thanks so much for coming by and checking out this video. Hope you all have been doing well out there. Looking forward to seeing the next ones. And until I do, have yourself a powerful day.